my job is to assist the provincial, and all of our works are on the province. So right now he has 2 vicars, which is kind of a new way of structuring the province. The former provincial had 1 vicar, 1 person who could do everything in his stead. And the 2 vicars are split in 2 areas: mission and ministry, which is the work we do, and personnel, which is the people. So if you think of it in that sense, 1 vicar takes care of the oblates. The other vicar's focus is what we do in our works. They're obviously interrelated positions, everything we do is, but as a team with the provincial, the vicar for personnel, and the treasurer, it's hard to think of anything that doesn't involve personnel, vision, ministry, and money. So it's really a way of working in a team, and my job is to take care of that perspective in our common works. The new general directions from our chapter invite us to look at look at our ministries with a number of other lenses as well. One of those is recognizing the new faces of the poor. Another one is mission with youth. Another one is the use of media in ministry. And there are several other topics that go along with that. New faces of the poor, the new immigrants in the United States who are here. We are now seeing Burmese immigrants, Cambodian immigrants, immigrants from different countries in Africa. These people are coming into our parishes in the northern tier of the United States. Buffalo, New York, in St. Paul, Minnesota. We've seen this presence in churches where we have been acting in Lowell, and churches we even recently gave up in Miami. Another new face of the poor would be the people who have been raised in this highly developed nation and highly educated nation, and have learned of Christianity and found it wanting, and have left the church, or simply have never been exposed to the church. They prefer to keep spirituality at a private level, if they keep it at all. And so how best to reach out to these people would be one new face of the poor. The mission here in Tijuana I find very impressive. Not only the work that's being done, but also the men who are here doing it, the oblates who are here doing this, and also the lay people with whom our oblates work. We have tremendous outreach to the youth. We have clearly direct hands-on contact with some of the poorest of the poor in Mexico and in the city of Tijuana. We have an enormous parish here. There's 1 primary parish center, but then a dozen or more smaller chapels in the outlying area. Well over 100,000 families in this 1 parish, and we have 3 priests and a brother staffing it. We also get some assistance, excellent assistance, from 2 other oblates who work in our pre-novitiate program here. So the level of cooperation locally between different houses is model mission work. Zambia is a wonderful mission. It was started some years back by the former southern province, and the burgeoning vocations and the interest in our donors to support that mission made for a wonderful opportunity for these local men of Zambia, along with the founding members of the American missionaries who started that mission, to create a wonderful project. Also in Zambia, we're looking at new ways to make that ministry more self-sustaining financially. And we see that mission growing and becoming more independent in leadership, in staffing, and in finance. The Mission Center project was, of course, a project that began under the Renewing Our Province Mission, or RPM project. So all the new centers were based in missions we already had and operated, but we tried to look at some different dynamics to expand our vision just beyond the local-based ministry of the various parishes, which were St. Joseph's Lowell, Holy Angels in Buffalo, Our Lady of Jude Shrine down in New Orleans, and the cathedral and an adjacent parish, St. Eugene Parish in Brownsville. Buffalo took on additional ministry sites beyond the original parish. They took on new other intercultural parishes that they weren't addressing before. Brownsville, they're doing some wonderful outreach to the local homeless who are coming across, the new immigrants right across the border that might not have any place to live or be fed. They're feeding those people on the street at nights out of the cathedral. New Orleans has taken on a new charismatic center. They continue to work with the homeless center across the street, and has also taken on an additional historic parish in the area of Treme, one of the oldest African American parishes in the country. And so working together as a team to do these ministries is a model way of doing ministry. We have 3 operating retreat houses that do traditional preached retreats in the U.S. One could also consider a couple other facilities that are similar. One is the Oblate Renewal Center in San Antonio. That's more of a conference center that is attached to the School of Theology, and so as such it kind of has its own identity there. And a 5th center would be Leb Shemaiah House of Prayer in Sarita. That's a contemplative house of prayer. They don't do a whole lot of programming. It's more of a destination place than a programming and kind of ministry. Unfortunately, very recently we had to close one of our retreat houses. And it's a retreat house that we put significant effort into, both personnel and finances. We renovated the retreat house. We gave it our best shot in terms of trying lay direction, oblate direction, and how to make it financially and ministerially sustaining, and we simply could not do so. So it was a very, very sad day when we had to announce to the staff and eventually to the retreatants of Immaculata Retreat House that we could no longer sustain that ministry, and that we closed on March 1st. Whenever we close any ministry, I try to remind myself and those who have put their hearts and souls into working that in the past. I think it's important to remind people that every single good work we've done, whether it's holding the hand of a scared parishioner before an operation, or whether it's preaching a word that lifts somebody up in a retreat center, or providing food in a homeless shelter for that one meal for somebody you'll never see again on the street, no one ever can take back that good that's been done. It might have been 5 years ago, it might be 50 years ago, but no one can ever undo the good that's been done by an oblate for a human being. That act of goodness continues to move forward and bless the world, even though we might lose track of it. Oblate School of Theology is a treasure for the province. It's done tremendous work in terms of training people for ministry in the southwestern United States and even beyond internationally now. Not only the priest candidates who go there, many lay people who go there for degree programs, doctors of ministry at an ecumenical level, even now a PhD program in spirituality. And one of the great treasures of that place is the number of lay people who have gotten certificates in lay ministry. Often, especially the smaller parishes around San Antonio and around South Texas, the amount of people who have gone to that place for training, that go back into the parishes and do work at the grassroots level with a much better appreciation of good theology, of Catholic Church teaching, it is just a tremendous gift to the Southwest. So that place is a wonderful gift that we can be very proud of. Shrine ministry can be one of the most exciting types of ministry I think we have in the province, for a number of reasons. Each of the 4 shrines we have is very unique. 2 of them, in San Antonio and Belleville, are associated with fundraising as well. 2 of the others, in Lowell and in New Orleans, also have some very, very important connections to downtown ministry and the poor people of the neighborhood, intercultural ministry. One of the wonderful, unique things about a shrine is that you can have the opportunity to do all sorts of creative programming you might not be able to do in a parish. The amount of appreciation at the grassroots level for this animal we call JPIC, Justice, Peace, Integrity, Creation, I think has grown over the years. One of the things I've come to appreciate about the many people who have worked in our JPIC offices, oblates and lay, is that I feel I'm a better oblate because of their work. When I was a younger man, I never imagined myself wanting a career in administration. I don't know that there's any oblates or many oblates who would say, I really want to go into this so that I can work in administration. And yet, over the years, I've learned to appreciate the importance of good administration. And there are ways you can exhibit a good oblate charism among ourselves as oblates, just as you can do it within a parish or a retreat center or a homeless shelter or wherever you work. Down to earth and close to people is how oblates are. As administrators, that's the kind of administrator we need to be with each other when we are oblates, serving other oblates.